in all this time, you've done so much and been so visible. You were the editor of the San Francisco Library Journal. You've been president of the Jung Institute in San Francisco. You then became the first American editor for the London-based Journal of Analytical Psychology. And I'd like to know how that came to be. There you were in California, and a group in London is looking for an American editor, or was it that you proposed that the journal might have an American editor? How did that happen? You immediately looked tired. Was it very...
One of the things that I got to in my analysis with John Perry was that I was not going to keep quiet. There had been... I was in a true double bind in my original life because I was supposed to be an outstanding performer, but at the same time I was not supposed to speak out of line. I was supposed to hew some kind of collective line in an absolutely dazzling way, but there were a number of people, starting with my father, then my mother, that didn't want me to do anything with the voice I was in fact developing. So, for better or for worse, the self I got in analysis was absolutely unwilling to not talk back to anything in any institutional establishment, including the analytic one, that I thought was destructive or poisonous. And I was so offended, much as I still respect him theoretically, by Michael Fordham's homophobic discourse in the pages of the Journal of Analytical Psychology. I mean, his review of Socarides' book, in which he basically is valorizing Socarides' approach to homosexuality, is one of the disgraces of our field. And some of the stuff Fordham would say in his articles, he was very clear that homosexuality, to the degree that there was any, was really a terrible immaturity, a fixation. I mean, relative to some in his time, he was not as homophobic as some, but you could read the Journal of Analytical Psychology as the promulgation of homophobic discourse in the 60s and right into the early 70s. And by the time we got to the Congress in Paris, I was complaining openly about it. And I mean, it's hard to take you back to these times because they think habits of thought change very quickly.
And did you find that in the entire Jungian world? Or
not in the entire Jungian world, no.
Very specifically.
Joe Wheelwright was absolutely about as opposite to homophobic as it's possible for a human being to be. He once said the great book on homosexuality would have a page at the beginning saying, "It's a ridiculous prejudice, ... Then there'd be a lot of blank pages at the end would say, "Isn't it?" the last page. That's what he said. That's the book that should be written. And he was saying this in the early 70s.
So you didn't have any experience of that at the San Francisco Jung Institute?
Not there,
or
no.
Medical school?
Not there. Not there. Well, I mean, it was a homophobic world. I mean, there was plenty in medical school, but it was particularly upsetting to see this. So I just spoke out about it. And they offered me the American editorship 2 months later. Watch what you ask for. And the journal was absolutely wonderful to me. And it's certainly not a homophobic journal now,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. I mean, so it worked. I mean, but at the time, I just felt like we have to do something about this. This isn't good.